Hey you guys, welcome back to another entry of the Delusional Diaries podcast, created and hosted by Janaya. You guys, it's been a minute. I don't know when I last recorded. It was definitely with Larpy. I want to say it was May, to where it's been a month. For me, it feels like 6 years, and I hate that every single time. So glad to be back. I'm ready to blabble per usual. Life has been lifing a lot lately, and unironically, that's what we're talking about today. I don't even want to sugarcoat anything I'm about to say today. I want to create a space where it's understood how okay it is to not be okay, you know? When life is digging at you, I feel like it's important to recognize that instead of trying to sweep it under the rug and force yourself to think things are okay when they're not okay. I am a recipient, someone who has done such behaviors, but I feel like I'm growing out of that, which we're also going to tackle today before we get deep in, into deep, word to Drake, future. But I just want to say I've missed you guys. I can't wait to talk. Clearly, I just already started screaming about today's entry. But yeah, I can't wait to talk. I hope you guys have been well, doing well, and life has been going in your favor because you deserve. So yeah, honestly, I feel like life has been moving in my favor, yet it's been trying me at the same time. So it's been nuts. It's been a nutty time for me. Nonetheless, let's just get into today's entry. Also, can we hold on. hold on. Before I even start screaming, entry 20. Round of applause, please. Please. We are making progress, you guys. This is nuts. This is so nuts. And today I got a notification from Anchor, Spotify. That's where I host the podcast. And they said I posted my first entry a year ago today. I don't think that's true. I think it was the trailer that dropped just a year ago. But even that, I'm what is going on? I've said it time and time again, but I've literally grown so much as a person just from doing this, to where I was able to reflect on everything that's taken place due to TDD and what I've learned about myself in the process. And just all of that information alone has me what is going on right now? I'm growing, I'm changing, a lot's happening right now, and I'm just trying to find my flow in what's happening in my life, So yeah, I just wanted to shout that out real quick because yeah, the year entry is gonna be the next one, but we're already 1 year from the trailer dropping. So shout out to my baby, TDD, I love you so much. You've changed my life forever. Best podcast in the universe. I don't care what nobody says. My child, literally I was pregnant for 4 months and she delivered July 9th. A cancer baby too? Come on. I love cancers. So I'm just so proud of myself, and I'm proud of the podcast. The strides we've made in just a year alone has me what is going on? We'll talk about it later with the year entry, but I just had to say that right now because I got the news today, so I had to discuss a little bit. But nonetheless, entry 20. I'm already rambling. Oh my God. Entry 20 is titled, it's interesting because I have two titles here. I never decided on a final one, and they're both songs. I love that. So typical. So me. Entry 20 is titled, Yes, I'm Changing. Today, you guys, we're gonna get a little deep. I want to be very vulnerable on this entry and get kind of intimate because I want to talk about my insecurities. My insecurities and my flaws, but also my strengths, because don't get it twisted. This is not about to be a self-deprecating moment. I just think it's so reflective of how much I've changed myself. I'm able to see how much I've changed through the podcast. So, it was only right that it kind of led up to the 1 year anniversary, because funny enough, I had my 1 year anniversary of me being in therapy just in July. So shouts to me. Woo! Yes, you guys, I've been in therapy for a year. July, no, not July, June 9th or something like that, which is also weird now that I think about it. But yeah, I was in therapy. No, I'm still in therapy, but my year anniversary for therapy was sometime in June, to where I knew I wanted to have this entry now because I've grown so much, you know, with all things considered, like therapy, TDD, 23 to 24. Like, I feel like I've been going through like a lot of instrumental life changes all at once, to where I thought it was important to highlight kind of that journey I've been on between my insecurities and like trying to find myself and navigate what's best for me, what works for me, who I want to be, and like how I want to show up in the world and stuff. It has been clouded throughout the process because obviously that was never going to be easy. Like, who said that? Insert clip.
Who had been saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
Oh my god, I love Housewives of Atlanta. But yeah, that was never gonna be easy. So I've been navigating that this whole time, to where I feel like I'm finally at a place where like I'm not even on like stable grounds. I'm more so like in a clear headspace to like clearly differentiate between what I know I want in my life and what I know I don't want, and how I want to be and how I don't want to be, to where I just thought it'd be nice to like share with you guys, because maybe someone else is going through the same thing. So for starters, the literal first thing I wrote is control and melodrama have been in rotation, and I'm rewatching Insecure, so you know life has been lifing on me lately. Like, I don't really think I need to elaborate on that as it is, because with Control, y'all already know. You should already know. If I said I'm listening to Control on repeat, girl, are you okay? And then with melodrama, that's like, if you know, then you know. Ooh, we love a sophomore album that hits just like the first one. Lord really did her thing on that, and yeah, she has her entry coming, but that's besides the point. I just wanted to say that to make it like a base ground, because yeah, it's been one of those time periods for me. Like, I feel like I've been being tested by life a lot lately, and like I said, like for the place I'm in and the growth I've made just as a person alone, I feel like I've been responding the best that I can. But it's also like, damn, life, like, why are you trying me like this? Like, this is a lot. This is very intense. I didn't sign up for these tests during these moments. Like, I don't know. It seems as if it's been like one thing after another thing after another thing, to where I have to like show up for myself and like prove myself, when I was just trying to exist as I was, you know? And it can get really draining, and like, you know, like, I could beat myself up about how I've responded in certain situations, but I was literally just doing the best I could with what I got. Word to Mariah Carey. Insert that video.
I'll do the best I can with what I got. Oh!
That's literally how I feel right now. Like, that's literally where I'm at in life. Like, I feel like I've started to like alleviate some of the pressure that I've always put on myself, because I'm like, this is my first day here. No. Well, how old am I? This is my 24th year here, but like, this is the first time I'm encountering certain situations where I don't know what I was supposed to do anyways, to where it's like, I gotta be easy on myself. Like, I am just a girl at the end of the day too. Fuck. I like, chill on me, life. So yeah, it's been one of those seasons in my life right now. I would say that's been starting from like June. Oh, that makes sense now. Like, the last month has been one of those months for me. So I've just been going through it, and I feel like not even so much that my insecurities have been put on display, but more so like I've been put in situations where I have to test what I just learned in therapy and what I've been trying to unlearn and like uncover about myself, and like realize how I actually want to be, opposed to what I was in the past, to where I just wanted to talk about my insecurities, but also combat that with the things that I've learned about myself in the process. So I wrote a little story for you guys, because we gotta go TBT, because when did my insecurities start? Like, I wasn't always this way. I used to just be a fun loving girl, just running around, no care in the world, like literally dilly-dallying on the daily, which, tongue twister, Say that 3 times fast. Yeah, I was like literally just having fun running around until I woke up one day in 7th grade. Like, this is literally the time period where my insecurity started hitting for me. If you know when you started feeling insecure, let me know down below. But I'm gonna say I was a middle school girly. Middle school kids rise. Like, it's true. Like, I know someone's gonna relate to that because middle school was my era. Yours might have been elementary, and I do feel bad about that. Or it could have been high school for you. But mine was middle school, where I started feeling insecure and like processing like, ooh, I don't like everything about myself, or I wish I could change this or change that. Like, basically that's the time period I started going in. So yeah, I woke up one day in 7th grade and I realized that I had huge feet. Oh my god, you guys, like, my feet haven't grown since. It's so hard to explain. Like, I was in middle school as a girl wearing like, not even like guy shoes. No, I was wearing guy shoes because I was in my sneakerhead era to where I was wearing Jordans and stuff. But like, I was out of kid sizes, so I had to like get size 7 maybe? Maybe 7, 7.5. But then I started teetering into men's shoes to where I was like, oh my god, like, I have the feet like a motherfucking dinosaur and I'm like 5 feet tall. This doesn't make any sense. It's so embarrassing. Like, also being in groups of people where like girls had like such little feet, and then even the guys were still wearing like kid shoes, and I'm like the girl wearing these big guy shoes because my feet were huge. Well, I just, and when I look back on it now, when I look back on it now, I'm like, okay, I literally just wear a 9, so it wasn't even that crazy. But at the time, you know, I just was freaking out because I'm like, oh my god, look at Bigfoot over here, and over here is literally looking at myself in the mirror. So embarrassing. And then when I reflect on that now, I'm like, ever since I realized I was insecure about my feet, I've been insecure about something every day since, which is nuts as hell. Like, it went from me having big feet to realizing like my legs were super hairy, and then I wanted to shave, but my mom said I shouldn't do it right now. So then I was walking around with big feet and hairy legs. So I'm like, oh my god, like, what's wrong with me? I'm so ugly. Then I had permed hair, but then I was wishing I could wet my hair to make it curly because I was around a lot of people with curly hair. But then my curly hair was not coming out like their curly hair. But then I was also the era where people were doing like curly hair and straight bangs. So I wanted to do that. Mom was like, no girl, that's not it. In hindsight, she saved me because no, that was not it. Like, that was not it. But you get what I'm saying. Like, middle school is such a pivotal time to where I feel like we're all trying to find ourselves, but yet we're looking at each other to see what we can take from you to put on ourselves, to where I was going through that heavy at that time. So like I said, it went from my feet to my hairy legs to me wanting my hair to look a certain way, me wishing I could dye my hair, just hopping from insecurity to the next, to the next, to the next. So it was one of those moments that essentially, unfortunately, has like continued throughout my life, to where my insecurities have shifted. Obviously, I don't care about my feet now because, I mean, okay, I wear a 9. Like, okay, it's not that crazy. I shave my legs now, so, hey. Glad I waited too, because I could have messed myself up, like, if I was not a good shaver. I could see myself not being the best shaver, to where I could have tore my legs up. I'm glad I waited. Haven't dyed my hair yet. Do want to try. But I was not about to dye this permed hair. Like, no, that was not gonna give. So, you know, in hindsight, I'm glad I restrained from a lot of those things that I wanted to do so bad while I was in middle school. But it's more so like the feeling I felt about myself at the time, because I couldn't do those things. I was like, what's wrong with me? Like, I feel so ugly. I'm a freak. I'm this, I'm that. When in reality, I was just a kid. So it's interesting to like reflect on those moments. Because I said also, like, there was a time in my life where I was so content with who I was because I was surrounded by love, to where I never even questioned like myself. Like, I was just existing. TBT, take me back to that era, because that was so fun. Like, I loved just existing. So yeah, to know that there was a time period where I was just like going through life and like not really caring about how I was perceived or looked, to know that it changed like overnight. And like I said, it's something that I'm still living with to this day, is crazy. But yeah, that didn't really happen to me until I got to school. And what does that say about the education system? I mean, like, not too much, but it's crazy. I feel like y'all could share a similar sentiment. Like I said, it might have been elementary school, middle school, or high school, but it's something about them school walls, man. Like, we're all just there. Like, you just get so like engulfed in the culture that whatever your school is like projecting based on the people that are in there, to where you start looking at yourself and like wondering why you're lacking in this area or what you like don't have and stuff. To where that was my era of me like not beating down on myself, but more so like reflecting heavy on myself, like, damn, is something wrong with me? Like, why am I not doing this, or why am I not attracting that? You know, it was just a mental battle. That's where it begun, I will say, because I mean, I'm in therapy right now, so. Oh my god, I hope I can find some punching sounds to insert there. But yeah, the battle continues, you know? I also wrote how I was physically insecure all throughout middle and high school. Like I said, like, oh Jesus, insecure about my feet, insecure about my hair, insecure about my face, my acne. Oh, that's what took it in high school. High school had me down, down, down. And it was because of my acne. Like, shout out Accutane. Shout out Dr. Moore. Shout out, wait, what is my other doctor's name? Like I said, shout out Dr. Moore. Shout out Dr. Willery Lloyd. Like, my girl and my boy. My acne had me feel like I felt so low about myself because of my acne when I was in high school. Like, it was terrible. Like, it wasn't even hormonal acne. It was literally like cystic acne, to where, oof, and then it would scar whether I touched it or I didn't touch it, to where I had so many dark marks, acne everywhere. Like, I was just like looking in the mirror like, who is this girl? I don't like her, and I don't want to know her because I don't like her skin. And it was me, which sucks to like reflect on now. Happy with my skin because of Accutane. Like, I literally took it twice also. I did it once in high school, and ooh, I was feeling myself. Then it came back in college, like my acne, and it didn't go away, to where, girl, we had to re-up, because no, no. So I literally just got off Accutane not too long ago, to be honest. Like, probably December of last year is when I finished my Accutane, but I literally redid it again because my acne came right back, which is crazy. Fingers crossed I don't have to do it again and my skin stays the way it is. But like, this is something, like, my skin is something that I've always wanted since I was in high school, like, to be even, be clear, no acne, just exist as is. So I'm really thankful to like be healed from that part of my life. But yeah, in high school, my acne was my main insecurity. So yeah, those are my little physical aspects. And then I wrote how I chilled on the physical in college because I really started seeing my beauty. I've already mentioned, like, when I went natural, I was like, hold on, girl, like, she kind of eats. Like, my body was like, she was slim too, so I was like, okay, girl, I see you. Like, hold on, you're cute, you know? I actually started like seeing my beauty in college, I would say. But then it took a turn. Like, car crash, because then I got swept up by like male validation. Ugh. I wanted men to like see me and like want me for me, but I meant the heart. I feel like when that was happening and they wanted me, it was just based on the physical. Then it got weird to me because I was like, you like the physical, but what about the soul? Because the soul is the best part, really. I kind of felt like at the time it was like do y'all remember those Wonder Balls? They were like these chocolate balls that it was like chocolate on the outside, and then they had like little, but the candies weren't good. So I mean, I guess this is deflecting my point. Hold on, my battery just died. Okay, I'm back. My battery died, but we're recharged. And I don't even remember what I last said, but I'm pretty sure it was something along the lines of how I got swept up by male. Actually, emphasis on the mal, because that means bad in Spanish, so it's not good. Like, I got swept up by male validation, to where I felt like because men weren't like wanting me for who I was ugly, I was gross, I was stupid, and this, that, and the third. To where that took its toll in college. Like, that's the little era I was going through at the time. Like, it was very hard not feeling like I was like genuinely desired or like wanted by someone romantically, considering like the person I am at the core. Hopeless romantic. Like, I love love, and I was wanting to experience that so bad. I didn't have it in high school, to where I was like, bro, there's no way. Like, college is my era. I'm about to pop off, fall in love, duck off, be married. Like, I'm done. So embarrassing. Didn't even share a kiss in college. Like, I didn't have that. I didn't have that time. So that was like punch to the ego, punch to the soul. I was like, damn, like, I am not worthy. Ouch, this sucks. So yeah. That was my college era. I'm over that now. I'm off that now. I realized how, unfortunately, like, this may sound so like cutthroat, but I'm like, the opinion men may form about me really doesn't move me, whether it's positive or negative, because them as a species doesn't really move me, you know? Like, I kind of see them as like, I don't know, when you put them next to women, it's kind of just like, you're here, to where it's like, when it's positive, like, you giving me positive feedback does mean a lot. But if you really have something negative to say about me and you're a man, I'm kind of like, well, I mean, you are just a man after all. So, you know, that stuff doesn't really move me as much, to where that's kind of what I was going through during all these time periods. Right now, though, my physical insecurities have like taken a back burner. Like, I don't really struggle with it as much anymore, you know, aside from like me wanting to get my belly snatched. We are in the gym. Like, it's July 2nd as I record this. I started the gym yesterday. I gotta keep up, bro, because we have Kelly and Alex's birthday coming up. Happy birthday to my Cancer girls. I love you guys so much. And Desiree, I love you. Happy birthday to my Cancer girlies. Rolling Louds at the end of the month. Y'all know I'm showing belly. Come on now. So I want to make sure it's intact. But other than that, I love the way I look right now. I'm very grateful to look the way I look right now. Because like I said, like, reflecting on where I was in high school, I was like, oh, I wish my butt is bigger. Like, oh, I wish my boobies were bigger. And now I'm like living in that era. Like, I feel like my grown woman body is coming in, to where I'm loving every second of it. So I'm off that right now. But my main insecurities are very much like mental and emotional, to where it's like it cuts through on my daily life more than my physical ones did, which is understood to me. Like, that makes sense to me, because I was writing down how like I have issues expressing myself. Like, I have issues like feeling like I might be judged, how like people perceive me, and like the things I say, the things I do. Like, I don't know how people take in those actions, to where they might be judging me based off of them when I meant them in one way, but they may perceive them as something else. You know, the carousel of those thoughts like mess with me, to where, you know, the mental, I'm at all. No, seriously, like, just that carousel of thoughts, like, it eats me up when I'm in a season of like feeling those insecurities like at their height, to where, yeah, those like thought processes do like mess with me a lot. And then I wrote also how like sometimes the physical does come into play, because I have an issue with posting. Like, the fact that y'all could see me at a 360 if you ever saw me in person and I can't is so weird to me. Like, comment down below, but please tell me what I look like. I mean, I think I'd be looking good, but ooh. Like, if I don't, actually, if I don't look good, don't tell me, but if I do look good, validate me down below, because yeah, that's the space that we need here. Like, it's really tough. Like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, not to say that men, I'm definitely not saying that men don't have insecurities and like struggle with these thoughts and these like feelings, but I feel like as women we have to show up like a certain kind of way everywhere we go. Everything we do, we need to do it a certain way, to where like society and my daily life be beating me up every single day. Like, I just feel like I'm not enough at some points, yet and still I know I'm doing more than enough, and I be doing the most at some point. So it's like so weird, like navigating this whole life thing. Like, it's just so weird to me. And yeah, like I said, even with posting, like, my physical insecurities come into play, because I'm like, oh my god, what if someone looks at me and they're like, this girl, like, goodbye, ouch. Or if someone's like, look at this girl, like, what's up with her? Who does she think she is? Like, mentally, like, girl, ouch. That hurts. Like, I hate thinking about that kind of stuff, but I do think about it every time I post. Even with TDD, I'm like, I can only imagine how many people but that's the thing. Okay, we'll get there. I can only imagine how many people be looking at me, like, that I went to school with, and I just be promoting my podcast and stuff, and they're like, this girl, like, who she thinks she is? Whoever's a popular podcaster, I don't really know per se, because I just know that I'm the dopest, so I can't really compare, you know? But I don't know if people look at me and they're like, who does she think she is? Oprah? And I'm like, well, nah, I definitely don't think that. But I'm also like, I don't know. It's just weird. I feel like I'm not really making sense right now, but all that to say, like, I don't know what people think about me at the core, whether we're close, whether we're distant friends. I just never know how people truly feel about me, to where, like, that alone is an insecurity of mine, because I want to know everything, and I just never want to be perceived outside of my control, but I can't control that. That eats me up again. So yeah, I would say more so at my age right now, in this season of my life, I'm more so into, like, rectifying my mental and emotional insecurities, because I fully realized how I spent a majority of my life, like, taking insight and advice from people who do or don't really know me, or they know me but they don't know me at the core, only I do, to where I would take what they were saying because I thought that they knew what was best for me, when in reality I'm the only person who knows those answers, because, like I just said, like, I know myself at the core. So I also wrote how I went from male validation to my physical. Wait, what? I went from male validation in the physical to friends and family validation in my regular life, only to find out that sometimes, like, people will hold you to a standard that they don't even hold themselves. So it's kind of like, why am I listening to you? I don't know why I'm listening to you. Like, for me to listen to someone tell me how I should be, or, like, what they think is best for me, when they're not even doing what's best for them based on their own standards, mind you. Like, not even me telling you that I think this is best for you. Like, you have some goals and dreams of your own. You're not following them, but you're telling me what I should be doing in my life. That sounds twisted. And like I said, I've been able to sort through these, like, ideals I've had with therapy, because I'm like, at the end of the day, I literally only have to listen to myself, which is crazy, because I've never been that way. Like, it took me a long time to get to that place. Like, I feel like I've already expressed that here. Like, in, like, pivotal moments in my life, I feel like I was listening to what people had to say, when if I listened to myself, I would have been in a different place, yes. But everything does happen for a reason, to where it even led me to this place to make these realizations, to know that I only need to validate myself. So, like I'm saying, I fully learned now, because of where I am in life. Like, I literally only have to listen to myself. It doesn't really matter what anybody has to say about me. Opinions are, like, appreciated and, like, validated. I'm always up for some constructive criticism, of course, but, like, to, like, change my whole, like, dreams and, like, things I want out of life because of what someone else told me or what someone else thinks about me, that's batshit crazy. And I'm not doing that ever again in this life, if I have a say so. So I'm just thankful to be at this place now where I can recognize that and know how I want to move forward in life. Like I mentioned earlier, you know, like, clarity is everything. I always think now too, like, if I wanted everything I wanted when I wanted it, I would not be who I am today. I would not be, and I don't think I'd be as happy as I am with who I am today, which is crazy. But, you know, that's the way the cookie crumbles, babe. Everything happens for a reason, and I'm just glad to be in this place I'm in right now. I'm leaning more into trusting my gut and, like, knowing when something's right, knowing when something's wrong for me, and, like, sorting through, or not even, like, feeding into the gray areas as much, because I'm like, I feel like as a person I kind of show up white. If we put life on a scale of like black, gray, and white, I show up white like 99% of the time. Like I'm pulling up myself, I'm pulling up with the best intentions, I'm pulling up with the best energy I can present at the time, because I have no interest in being black, i.e. negative, self-deprecating, just bringing like a bad vibe or a bad energy to any situation, to where as me being like in a like white space, I no longer want to even like sort through gray areas where I know something feels weird, but I'm like, was that weird? Or am I just tripping? Like, girl, no, you know that was weird, and just trust your gut, because you knew that was weird. So I feel like I'm straying more into that field of my life, like just wanting to trust what I know to be true and not really second guess the way I feel when I know I feel weird. So I appreciate that clarity. And I also wrote how I always say this, like I feel like I'm so redundant, but it's so funny because it didn't really occur to me until it happened to me. But I was seeing these tweets on Twitter leading up, like at 21, 22. People were like, 23? It's the hardest year. It's the hardest year of your life. Like, you don't even know when a 23 comes. Oh, she's a kicker. Like, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, okay, bro, like, whatever. Don't speak that on me. Oh, well, then I turned 23 and it was the hardest year of my life mentally, because I had to combat all these things about myself that I thought were okay. They were fully not okay. Being a people pleaser, not okay. Yuck, yuck. Validating other people over myself, blah, like just not it. So I had to like challenge a lot of things about myself mentally that I wasn't even prepared to do. But life was pushing me to get to that, essentially to get me to where I am right now. But like I had to get to work at 23, and I wasn't trying to go to work. I was already working, like literally, to where the mental battles when I clocked out were kind of crazy. Like, damn, I'm tired, you know? So yeah, it was such a hard year for me that I started going to therapy, i.e. happy anniversary to me. Like, oh my God, you guys, I've grown so much as a person because of therapy. I feel like it's very taboo in certain, how would I say, certain cultures. I feel like for people of color, therapy is kind of like a, girl, you in therapy? Like, what's good with you? Kind of deal. To where not even that it's looked down upon, but it's more so like, oh, something's up with you if you're in therapy kind of deal. And I don't see it that way. I'm not gonna say I'm gonna be in therapy for my entire life, but I will say for the space I'm in right now, I'm gonna stay by. Like, I'm gonna stay in, because it really does help me like sort through thoughts. And like I said, it's different speaking to someone who, not to say they don't know you, but like my therapist doesn't have like a say-so on my life. Like, she has no personal tie to me outside of her being my therapist, to where I validate her respecting where I'm coming from, and then like providing me with solutions that essentially one of them can assist me in like essentially like recalibrate my whole way of thinking, which is crazy. But I'm blessed. Like, I love me some therapy. I'm literally gonna link down below how I found my therapist, because I've been in therapy before. This is the first time I'm like, oh yeah, we're locked in. Like, I'm not trying to lose my therapist ever, because I realized for the person I am, like, I wanted like a black woman to be my therapist. So I'm gonna link that website down below where I found my therapist, because she helped me reach the clarity that I'm at today, and for that I love her. Like, thank you. You know who you are. If she sees this, I love you. Like, thank you so much. But yeah, I started going to therapy a year ago in June. I came in that hole like ready to like figure out what was going on in my life. Like, I did not know what I was gonna do. I was so confused. Like, this is all during this era of me like, am I going back to school? But I don't want to go back to school. So why would I go back to school? But you need money. But is money really that important? Because where's your happiness? I think you feel happier when you're not in school, but you need to figure out what makes you happy. What makes me happy though? I don't know what that is. That was like one of my internal battles. Then the other one was like, oh my God, like, sometimes I feel like I don't love myself, but I do love myself, but I don't love myself enough. No, that is true. You don't love yourself enough. Like, you don't give yourself enough grace and like care that you give other people. That's weird. Yeah, that is weird. Like, this is me battling myself. Like, it was crazy. It was literally nuts. I don't even know which side I made it, but like, one of these is a negative thought and one of these is a positive thought. Whichever side that was that I was flip-flopping between, we'll see. I might notate that in editing because I don't even remember right now. But yeah, it was literally like my positive thoughts and my negative thoughts were like going back and forth, but my negative thoughts would overtake me to where I'd just be like, ugh, I'm not worthy. I'm just a mess. I don't know what's going on. Ooh, what's happening? Something's happening. Oh, we're okay. Never mind. But yeah, I was going through it, y'all. All this to say, I was going through it. And that's why I had to pull up to therapy. And, you know, within this year time frame, I've been able to unlearn so much. Like, no, Janiyah, like, you're cool. Like, you should kind of just, like, tap into what's calling to you right now. That might change a year from now. A year from now, I might be like, you know what? Damn, I do want to go back to school. Let me just apply, sign up, and go ahead forth. You know, like, just go do it or whatever. At the time, I was thinking, like, oh my God, like, if I make a decision right now, it's gonna, like, throw off the whole course of my life. When in reality, it's not so, like, cut and dry. Like, I was so young then. I'm still young now to where, like I said, like, if I want to go to school next year, I'll just be a 25-year-old in school opposed to a 24-year-old. Like, it really doesn't matter that much. And I felt like I was putting so much pressure on myself to make a conscious decision that would, like, benefit me in the long run when I don't really need to think that far ahead right now. You know, considering how life is, like, lifing as it is for all of us. Just found out my loans aren't getting cleared, so I have no urgency to take out more, even though I'm not gonna pay off the ones that... Should I say it on the internet? I don't know if I should say it on the internet, but yeah, I'm not gonna be running down the street to pay off these loans right now to where I don't have an interest in, like, taking out more loans. I'm just, like, not in that space right now. This time off from school has been awesome. That I'm, like, literally, like, I don't know that I'm gonna go back. So again, to know that I was so insecure about that just a year ago, like, basically making the worst decision for myself, and I look at it now and I'm like, well, is any decision a bad decision if they're both, like, conscious decisions for you? No. Wouldn't have known that without therapy, and I'm gonna be honest, like, I needed that clarity. So yeah, that's just one of the things I unlearned. I'm so hard on myself. I've lightened up from that a lot. I just want to be more gentle with myself and, like, really just live my life very freely. Like, it doesn't have to be like, first you do this, then you do that, then that will open the door for this, and then this will make that happen, and then you'll be able to do XYZ. Like, I literally just want to float around and just figure my life out as it goes. And I feel like I've gained, like, so much peace from that, because yeah, y'all, it was getting a little scary there. Like, I was really like, damn, am I about to be, like, 30 living at my mama's house just with bachelors? Which is not a bad thing. Like, that doesn't even make sense to me as it is. Like, why am I not able to, you know what, we're getting ahead of ourselves. Like, again, that's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, oh my God, I'm such a failure. I got my bachelor's and I'm still living at home with my mom and my brother, and, like, I'm gonna be living here until I'm 30 and I can't move out and, like, do this with my life or do that because I need to be saving, but then I can't be, like, traveling and enjoying life because I need to be saving so I can move out, but then a cycle of thoughts. Like, I was just going in, you guys. It was a crazy time for me. Like, I was literally going through it mentally to where at this place I'm in right now, I'm just currently trying to let go of the need to be a version of myself that is palatable by everyone, and instead just be enough for myself. Like, I could say right now that some of my family members want me to go back to school to become a something. Doctor, this, that, whatever. I don't want that. I don't want that. The time will come, you guys. I don't know when it's coming, but it's coming. We're gonna talk about the healthcare system on a later day, but I just know from what I'm doing at work right now, like that is not for me. So I'm glad that I did not pursue further education when I thought I needed to, because I would have been so miserable, like even more miserable than I am right now. I just know right now that that lifestyle is not for me, that that field is not for me in that way, at least. And you know, we turn corners, because that's why I'm like, I'm so glad I got some of my doula certification done, because that's the only way I was gonna tap in on the medical front. Like that's the only way I'm gonna get in there personally. So I'm glad that was able to unfold from me making these realizations. Cause yeah, I just need to be enough for myself. Who I am right now, today, in this moment at 4:18 recording this is enough. It'll be enough for me for the rest of the day. I might change who I am entirely tomorrow, and that's gonna be okay. Might make a different decision on Friday. That might change my entire life, and that's okay, because it's what I want to do and it's my life. Like, ooh. We love clarity. We love freedom. We love the freedom to make choices for ourselves and not really care what anybody else thinks. Because that's what I also wrote now. Like, I don't really care what people think about me. I mean, I'm contradicting myself, because I definitely just said earlier, I was like, ooh, y'all be looking at me posting and being like, this girl, what's up with her? But the truth of the matter is, when I step back from like my insecurities, because that's another thing. Like, I feel like insecurities can present themselves immediately off rip out of fear. But once I take a step back and like reflect on everything, I'm like, girl, like, why do you even care what these people have to say? So I'm unlearning like taking my insecurities at face value and like freaking out over them, to where I like look at them, process them, and then I'm like talking myself off the ledge, basically, like, girl, it's not even that serious. Like, who cares what they think? So now I don't care what anybody thinks about me, really. I'm just literally floating through life. So to know that like people can have an opinion about that and like judge me off that is weird. And it's weird on your end, because what? Why are you so pressed about me? You know? I don't know. I'm just like off of that stuff right now. Even with like, I don't speak on nobody else because I don't know anyone else's life. Like, I have no interest in like talking shit about people or like speaking down on people, because like I said, I'm always showing up in the white. Like, I'm always gonna pull up showing love, showing care, because that's what we need as people. Like, why am I gonna show up like hating on someone or like speaking ill on them, when whether they did something to me or not, it really doesn't matter. I just feel like, I don't know, just the person I want to be in this life. I'm not trying to change my heart for nobody or nothing. Like, I love who I am as a person, and I love who I am at the core. It's where I'm always going to show up in the white, always showing love, always showing respect, and always just wishing the best on everybody around me. So that's all I'm on right now, you guys. And for that, I've been healed. Like, I felt so much better about myself within this year time frame, because I'm going after the things I want, not really caring what people think, what they gotta say, and just unlearning so many things that, you know, prevented me from coming to this place, which is crazy. But shout out therapy, shout out clarity, shout out love, and shout out genuine support, because I wouldn't have been here without those things. And you know, I just wrote some other things that have like shifted in my life because of, you know, the things I've been unlearning. One of those is like, that's gonna be like moving forward. Like, I used to be a sharer. When like good things were happening to me, I was like so quick to be like, oh my god, this happened, like I'm so excited, I love this, blah blah blah. Like, I'm so happy with where I am in life right now because of XYZ, just very open and expressive. But I've like refrained from that, because I just want like the things that are for me to be for me. Like, I feel like once you like open those windows of like sharing your intimate details and your wins, people who love you, or people who say they love you but they don't really love you at the core, they like start poking holes and like, again, adding like input and opinions and like question marks on things that were like very period based for me. Like, I am happy, period. But then someone who doesn't really have your best interest at heart might be like, are you happy? Question mark. And I just don't like the weird energy, you guys. Ugh. That stuff freaks me out. Again, knowing that I'm not like that, it just makes me question like why I would want to entertain that or like even endure that stuff, to where I've like refrained from like sharing, even though I have a whole podcast on YouTube. Yeah, this is true. But I've just like refrained from that, like, you know, that method of like speaking on my wins and stuff, because I just think it's the most important that I know what they are and I celebrate them the way I want to celebrate them and just be done with it. So like because yeah, I literally said like outside voices and outside comments shouldn't move me as much as they did in the past, because at the truth of the matter, like, I don't know y'all and y'all don't know me. Like, you don't really know me at the core the way I know myself, to where I shouldn't let your comments and your opinions like shift my whole like perspective about myself, because you don't even know me. What's my favorite color? Quick. It's green right now. Exactly. Did you know that? No, you didn't. It's literally green right now. It's normally yellow, but I'm in a green era. So yeah, did you know that? If you didn't, then you don't have a say-so on my life. Period. So yeah, it's stuff like that. And you know, I finished this little spiel off with, it's crazy how since I've been there in therapy for a year, I've learned so much about myself, and I've learned how to handle situations best for myself, because because of where I am in life. I realized that I'm coming into the woman I want to be and the energy I want to keep around me while preserving my own. Like, I was always one of those people too. Like, I kind of wanted everybody to be in my circle, everybody to be like, I wanted us all to be winning, and I still want that. But I just feel like there's a way for that to happen and not everybody be all up in my business all the time, because not that I don't know who's like really wanting the best for me, but I just don't want to live in a gray area anymore and like be in situations where I'm like, do you really support me? Do you really love me? Do you really want what's best for me? I don't know. Girl, don't do that. You know they love you and they care about you. Yeah, I know they love me, but I'm not feeling it right now. Like, it feels a little wishy-washy. And me speaking from like a learning standpoint, I don't fuck with wish-wash energy. Like, I don't like people who are like, you're sweet and loving in this way, but then you're like avoiding and like creating like an unsafe space the next time. Like, the back and forth is not my deal, because like I said, like, I don't show up like that as a person, so I have no interest in tolerating that in my personal life anymore. You know, I'm just like more, you know, all this is sounding like I'm just more sure of myself right now. I know what I want. I know what I don't want. I know what I want to do. I know what I don't want to do. And I love that for me, because we haven't always been here, you guys. Like, she's growing. Yes, I'm changing. Yes, I'm numb. Yes, I'm older. Yes, I'm moving on. And if you don't think it's a crime, you could come along with me. Hey, hey, life is moving. Can't you see? There's no future left for you and me. Rec Center. We'll get there. There's gonna be Rec Center, obviously, because damn, so good. So good it had to be the title of the entry. Like, ugh, I just love it. So yeah, you guys, honestly, that's the end of the entry. I finished it off with a few things I wrote that I love about myself, because, you know, she's on her self-love journey. So some things I love about myself, which have not shifted since I've been a kid. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. The fundamentals of what I'm about to say have been in me since I was a kid, and they haven't shifted since I've grown up, and I know that to be true. Like, if someone were to come at me and tell me that I'm not these things, I'd be like, bitch, you're lying and you're a hater, because that's not true. I don't care what you gotta say, because I know this about myself to be true. You know what I'm saying? So for one, I wrote that I'm very welcoming, you know, very accepting of all kinds of people. I don't give a fuck who you are, really. If you have a good heart and you're sweet and you're fun, I like you. Dare I say, even love you. I don't need to know your whole life story or know where you've been from and what you've been through. If you're coming up to me and you're like presenting yourself as like a person who wants the best for everyone around them and you have a good heart, you have good energy, I love you. So I love that about me. I've always been that way. I'm very sweet. Like, this is shit you can't fake. Like, it's been innate. That's what I'm saying. Like, I've been sweet since I was a little kiddo. It's growing up. It's growing up. It's growing with me as I grow up. And it's something that I've admired about myself. Very sweet, very compassionate. Just, I love love. I love giving love, and I love spreading love. So it is what it is. Like, that's something I've always loved about myself. Always present for everyone. Facts. Like, I just, again, it kind of ties into me wanting the best for everyone, to where when I'm in the presence of people, I want to give 110%, even if I'm not able to be in the present moment. I'm gonna give 110 where I can give it, because it's always love. Like, I never want that to get twisted or like confused. So I'm just, I don't know, I feel like I always just pull up like that. Very caring, very selfless. I literally this is gonna sound very contradictory to everything I just said these last 48 minutes, I think, but I don't give a fuck about myself really when it comes to someone else that I care for. I'm very selfless in that way. I'd give my grandma anything she wanted from me if she called me right now. I don't care. My friends, the same thing. My family, like, I just, selfless. Even a rando. If the rando had the energy I just described to y'all earlier, best intentions, best heart, why would I not be selfless for you? Like, you might need it. You might need it. And I didn't even know how bad you needed it, to where I just want to provide it when I can. Like, when I know I can give that kind of energy, I'm going to give it, because who knows when someone needs that kind of person in their lives, you know? So yeah, I appreciate my selflessness. I was saying what I said earlier, like, okay, when I was younger, I was cute. Now I'm grown and I'm sexy. Like, she's cute, you guys. Like, I haven't been taking enough pictures, but like, I feel like that's also a testament to how good I've been looking lately. Like, is that a thing? Like, I feel like that's a thing. When you look good, you don't take that many pictures. I've been in that era lately. Like, every time I've been stepping out, I'm just like, girl, she gives. Like, she looks good. I love that for me. So, heavy on the sexy, okay? She's sexy. Pure intentions. Like I said, I just want what's best for everybody. I come into the world, like, pulling up wanting the best for all of us, because we all deserve. Like, I literally don't care who you are. If you want the best for everyone around you, you deserve the best and more, based on that fact alone. So my intentions are genuinely pure most of the time. I really have no secret motives or like wanting something out of a situation, because I don't care. I just care for the betterment of us as a society and us as a whole, to where it's like, why not pull up with pure intent? Jesus, what? I sound like Raven's fucking principal or something. Mr. Petrocelli, and he'd be spitting and shit. That's what I feel like right now. Pure intentions. That's what I was gonna say. And the last one I wrote, creative. I feel like this is one that I've always been like, ooh, can I claim myself as creative? Because like, I don't really do much. I'm not an artist. I don't draw, I don't paint. But I think that's the sexy part about me. Like, my creativity lies in my mind. My ideas are insane. I feel like, I don't know. It's crazy because I just went through a life moment where I feel like I battled with some things that had me like question whether I was creative again, or like whether my creative pursuits or creativity is like even needed in this world. Like, is it worth it kind of deal? But again, now speaking from a healed place, I'm like, yeah, I feel like I need to see the things that I want to create, because the things I want to do and I want to create are cool as hell. And not that I haven't seen them, but I haven't seen them done by myself. So I want to do them. And I'm just appreciative to have that, you know, that trait about myself, because it's something that I truly love. And it like brings me so much peace to feel like I'm cool and I have like coolest ideas. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just something I will always pat myself on the back for, because she eats when she eats. I was making shirts in high school. So TBT, bro. Pockets on like plain ass shirts, iron on shirts, cutting up shorts, tie dye, bleaching. Oh my god, my high waisted shorts era lives on forever. Like, so iconic. I always will forever love the senior year like crown that I made, iconic, chef's kiss, like shit like that. I'm just like, I love the things that like pull up in my mind and I'm like, that's cool. And then I like go and do them. The film page, there's 1,000,001 film pages, but like my film page to me is like so cool because I'm like, oh my god, this is my whole last life for the last 2 years like on display right now on Instagram through film. So cute, so crazy. And then even something coming soon with the film page I love. And you know, we round it all off to come here talking about TDD. I hate sharing with the outside world, so why not just talk to myself in the camera and then put it for the outside world to say what I have to say. Whoa. Sorry, I didn't mean to kick you guys. But yeah, I mean, why not? Since we're here, might as well just tell the world what I want to say to myself, because I don't want to talk to you guys really. I do, but like to think that this could be like a group of 30 people, I'd be scared to share how I truly feel. So this is what works best for me. And I love that for me. I love finding out what works for me. You get what I'm saying? So you guys, that's wraps on entry 20. Like that's all I had to say. If you take anything from this entry, just stay true to yourself. Like it literally doesn't matter what anybody else thinks about you. And I mean that in the way I said it. Your parents, your siblings, your family, your friends, your lovers. It doesn't really matter what they think if what they're thinking isn't really supporting what you want in that moment. Maybe what you want in that moment isn't what's best for you, which can be the case, but I'm meaning more so in the instance of where you know when something is meant for you, but you're unsure of how to approach that, and people are like talking down on that and like not speaking life into you. Instead of, they're making you more confused and more concerned about wanting to pursue something that's been meant for you. Do you get what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm gonna just close all this out with like trust your gut, because that's never gonna wrong you. It will never ever ever wrong you. And I'm taking that away from this entry too. So yeah, that's entry 20, you guys. I want to talk. You guys, film drop coming soon. I just got my pictures from the dark room. Are you fucking kidding me? They just sent me an email. I'm so excited. But let me look at Rec Center. For starters, yes, I'm Changing by Tame Impala, link down below. Amazing song. I love that album. Yes, they have their own entry coming soon. Like this, that's what I'm saying too. Like this podcast is never gonna end because I have so many things I want to say. But yeah, yes, I'm Changing by Tame, link down below. I don't know, or IDK's album. I don't even know what it's called, matter of fact, which is crazy. Let me see what it's called. Okay, his album's called F65. So I'm gonna link that down below. My favorite songs are Paper Chaser and let me see. Pinot Noir and what else? Middle Passage, I like. Yeah, those are my top 3. Oh, and Elmina. Okay, Paper Chaser, Pinot Noir, Elmina, and Middle Passage. I'll link them down below. Heard It All Before by Sunshine Anderson. Why did that come up on my, like in a random like playlist? Oh, maybe I was listening to a song and then it came on afterwards and I was like, oh, this song is so old but so good. Like, heard it all before. Hey, all of your sweet talk, baby this, baby that, but your lies ain't working now. Look who's hurting now. See, I had to shut you down. I had to shut you down. If you know that song, you're real. But yeah, I'm gonna link that down below. Keke Palmer on the Terrell show. You already know I love Terrell. Keke Palmer went on it. You know I love Keke. The two of them, magic. I loved that. She's been on a press run lately because she's promoting Big Boss, which is her new album and her new movie. Loved it. I watched both. I literally wrote, it was so inspiring and gave insight to what the music industry was for her. And I also have a few songs from the album that I like, so let's see what those are. Damn. I think my camera's gonna die, so that's why I'm trying to hurry up. But, okay, yeah. Big Boss the movie, link down below. And then the songs from the album that I have are Love Language, Love Like This, Approach Me, and I Care. Chef's kiss. I love Keke Palmer so much. She's so iconic and I love her. Can't say anything else. And then the last thing for Rec Center is this show, which I literally forgot I watched because I don't know when I started this. Oh, the beginning of June. That's why. It was so long ago. Not Dead Yet. Gina Rodriguez, she's back. I literally just wrote great show. Oh my god, Cece from New Girls, her best friend in that show. Love me some Cece, of course. So yeah, I literally wrote great show. Shout out Jam, because Jam told me about it in January, but I didn't even tap in until June. And it was top tier, chef's kiss. Can't wait for season 2. So yeah, I'm gonna link that down below too. And you guys, that's all she wrote. I will see you next week because next week is gonna be a party. Like, I don't even know how the entry's about to go right now, but I'm just so excited because TDD is turning 1. Thank you guys for always listening and checking in, tuning in. Be sure to follow the podcast, rate the podcast wherever you listen to it. Leave a comment, tap in, follow our socials, Insta, Tiki. Follow my socials, Insta, Tiki, Twitty, YouTube, all of it. Just love on all of it, and I love you guys. Thank you for always being here, and I appreciate your support. I couldn't do this without you. Contrary to belief, like, the love I get from my friends and my family motivates me to keep doing this because it makes me feel like this is for a bigger purpose. So I just appreciate the love and support. And yeah, I love you guys. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time on the next entry of TDD. The next entry of TDD. The next entry of TDD. That was giving like closing song, and I fucking love that. But I love you guys. Bye.
Bye.